Hi guys, it's Talia here. I have another process video for you today. This one is a series of 3 small art journaling cards rather than in my big art journal. It didn't take me very long to make this either, so I haven't sped it up heaps. I think it's only like 1 1/4 sped up. But you'll see there that I am using some 4x6 Project Life cards, some white ones. I just have heaps of them, that's why I'm using them. And they're actually really thick cardstock, so that is really nice to use them this way. And so basically what I'm doing today is my finger painting style. So I'm wanting to use a really light blue range today, so I've just picked 2 blues and a white, and I'm just putting some splodges onto the paper. It is totally random. It doesn't matter if the colors are on every one or anything like that, because you'll see in a minute I just mix across them. That's why it's nice to have the 3 on the paper together. Definitely sometimes I do just do them one at a time, but it is nice to create 3 at the one time, particularly I don't know, if I am doing a color palette that I really enjoy, then it's nice to have 3 that are similar, but I love to see the differences in them, which you'll get to see at the end. So basically what I'm doing is just lifting bits of paint and putting them in different places, doing some splodges, some circles, some lines, etc., etc. I enjoy the first bit because it makes me really nervous. I have to really trust that this will work out, because sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, that's a huge amount of that color. Do I really want that? And I just got to trust that, this is just the first little bit, and that it all comes together as you're making it. So the top card, I'm doing some really big strokes, okay? Big for the 4x6 size. And the other 2, they do have some big strokes in them, but I'm doing more of the what I would call medium length strokes with my fingers. Of course, if you're not into getting your fingers messy, you could use gloves to do this sort of technique, but I don't really care. I really like it. I thought that I had way too much paint, and I probably had a bit more than what I needed, but there's a bit of texture on these cards, but it will still dry fine, so that's okay. I've just moved the camera up for you and moving my pieces up so that everything's in the frame properly. Sorry about that earlier. So I'm just drying them off. I do find this is a really important part of doing these sorts of finger painting pictures, because I did a lot of color mixing. You would have seen I mixed the 2 blues together. I definitely mixed each color with white at different stages, and I love the mix of colors that is obviously in these pictures. But the part that I want to do next is more splattering and fine detail sort of work, and so I need this layer to be dry in order to make the other one, this next layer, work properly. I have helpers around me while I'm trying to do this, so that's why random things keep moving onto my page. Also, I always think when I do this that I should really tape down the sides with washi tape, and then I'd have a little white border around the edges or something. But I never remember to do that, and so I do need them to sit really flat for the next part. And you would have seen that top one in particular was buckling, or it wasn't really buckling, it was just curling. So I've just got some washi tape that I putting into a little circle and putting that underneath each one so that it doesn't move, and on the top one I did on each side, so it was more flat. What I'm doing now is I've got some liquid acrylic, and I really like the white bits in it, so I'm wanting to do more white in it. So I've got the white liquid acrylic that I'm plopping on. I love this. I love the whiteness of it. My only thing sometimes with the white being dropped on like this is it reminds me a little bit like bird poo or something. You know, when you get that on your windscreen, it's like, yuck. Like, it's a kind of nice splatter, but it's yuck. So I want to like add some extra bits to this. So even though I'm sorry if I've totally ruined white splatters for you, I think really tiny fine splatters never look like this, but just the really bigger blobs do sometimes look like that. Anyway, I put some purple liquid acrylic in with the white, and I'm going with that because one of those blues, the darker of the blue, or no, I don't know, you couldn't really say it was darker. It was just the more purpley blue was more purple. And I suspected that by adding the purple to the white liquid acrylic and making a light purple, that I would be able to do splatters of that and that it would tone well with the white. I was trying to make things continue with the lightness of it, so it would continue with that but also bring out some of the more purpliness of that blue, which I think it did. So I'm really happy with that. I trying to work out what exactly I want to do. I thought I would want to do some scribbles in it, which I did, and then I really regretted that. So you just saw me there use the baby wipe to wipe those bits off, and that's the advantage of having the paint underneath dry, is that I could wipe it off and it didn't wreck everything. So I'm just making some other variations of the purples and blues with the two liquid acrylics that I have, and I'm just doing more splatters. I want to do some bigger blobs as well, so I have to sort of just like splatter in the same place over and over to get a bigger blob, so that I wanted it. I was just noticing that like the white was very big and the colors were very small, and I wanted some bits that were more in the middle. One thing I really love is, see how I've got like the purple splatters splattered into the white? I really love that. And it just seemed to like not spread out heaps, which is perfect. Anyway, we're coming to the end of this video. I've got a little bit of video. Oh, that's a naughty little hand there. That's in the harbour hand trying to get my ink. But she doesn't get it. Lucky for her, she didn't get a smack. Anyway, sorry, here's the close-ups. If you like this video, please like it. I'd love a comment. If you know any other artists that do this sort of style, or you do this sort of style of art, then please link that below, because I'd love to connect with other people. Okay, thanks guys.